Hello, my name is Morjana Celeste Barricchio, and I am producing artistic director of Mosaic Dance Theater Company. Today, we are zooming around town to talk to the fabulous performers in Mosaic's upcoming production of Troy, Women and War.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kendra McCarthy, and I am a dancer with Mosaic Dance Theater Company. I will be playing the part of Helen of Troy. And to tell you a little bit about myself, I've been a dancer for many years, my whole life, and I've been with Mosaic previously for many seasons. And I also am a modern dancer and I dance with other companies as well. Aside from my dancing career, I'm a holistic nutritionist. I'm also a neuromyofascial release practitioner. In short, I do a lot of body work and I'm a movement specialist. So I work hands-on to relieve pain and tension with my clients. And all of that really comes from my dancing. So I've been able to blend that into a career on the side. I am the owner of a small company called Lean and Limber Stretch Therapy, where I practice in Midtown near Bryant Park. My personal life, I have a new puppy, and he's a lot of fun. He's a rescue from Puerto Rico. He's my second rescue, and I live with my husband, who works in the film industry and within rugby. So I'm learning all about sports on the side, aside from my dancing. And other than that, I love sunny weather, and today it's not one of those days in New York City.
So Kendra, Mosaic is thrilled that you're dancing with us. And in the many shows that you've performed with us in the past, especially some of the school shows, the question that everybody asks, and I'm going to ask you so everybody can hear, is how do you remember all those steps?
So this is a very tough question to answer, and you asked me. I feel like it's in part a question for a dancer, but also a neuroscientist. Understanding how the brain works is a big component of answering this question. For me personally, I will say starting to dance at the age of 3, it's really a skill that I've developed. Learning to pick up movement is not something everyone can do. And I think that's where we decide who's a professional dancer versus someone who just enjoys to dance and learn. At a young age in the dance curriculum, you learn through different ways and styles of learning. You learn by listening, you learn by seeing, you learn by moving and doing it. I tend to be a kinesthetic learner the most. So once I get an idea of movement in my body, it makes more sense to me than if I just hear it or see it. But between all three, it really depends on how you're taught. And through the years, I've learned that working with one choreographer for quite some time, you start to learn their styles and their techniques, and it's almost predictable what they're going to do or how they want things. So you have a general vocabulary, movement vocabulary in your mind that for Samara, for example, I've worked with her long enough to know kind of what she's going to do next. I have a very good idea from studying her style. Same with my other choreographers. Samara's technique, it fits naturally into the way that I move as a dancer. And I think most dancers tend to gravitate towards a choreographer that caters to the way that they move organically. So that also helps. To remember the steps, it's really like learning a puzzle or learning a new language. I very much struggle with learning a monologue. I would really struggle memorizing words, but when it comes to movement, I can pick it up and retain it. It's like cramming for a test. Depending how much time you have with it, you can learn it quickly and keep it. I will say an interesting fact: after this 2-year hiatus where we took a break from dancing, my brain is a little bit slower than it was. It's almost like training muscles. The more you do it, the faster you are at it, just like reading a book. The more you read, the faster of a reader you become. And I think we pick up on little tricks and details in the environment that help. For example, when I teach movement to some of my non-dancers, my regular everyday people, I use I use points of the room. I use front, back, to the windows, because sometimes right and left doesn't really translate from a person's brain to their body. For a dancer, it would, but not for everyday people. So you have to learn different ways to explain things. But for retaining it, if I have a lot of choreography in my mind at one time, it kind of goes into my short-term memory. I do the performance and then I might forget it right after. Or if it's something that I have a lot of time to work on, it gets into my muscle memory. I practice it so many times that I don't even have to think. I just go into it. So I hope that gives you a little bit of insight. I'm sure there's a really scientific way to explain the way that the brain works with the two hemispheres. I don't really know those details, but I will say it's a skill that you develop, and it can be refined. And I really think anyone can learn it at any age. I think it's never too late to start learning dance and learning how to use your brain in that mechanical way.
Well, thank you, Kendra, for that detailed explanation of things. And you may think that your brain has slowed down a little, but I don't think so. You're just amazing with the way you pick up choreography. So my final point, and maybe you can tell our viewers any takeaways that you would like to share about rehearsing for Troy, Women and War.
Sure, thank you. This new production, it's fun. The music's a little more different than what Mosaic has done in the past. And so as with that, the dance style's shifting a little bit. There's really some new fresh dancers that have joined this production that bring their own energy to it. So it's been enlightening to see some new energy in the room while we rehearse. There's also a very nice collaborative dynamic happening in the studio with this new production. So we've all been able to contribute a little bit of our opinions here and there. And maybe we have a suggestion on a pathway or a pattern that might make more sense. So it's been really nice to contribute as a dancer. And Morjana and Samara are very welcoming to our input. So that's been a lot of fun.